What's good, y'all? King of the Root back with another video. And as we all know, breaking news just went out today that suspects or people of interest or something of that sort have now been revealed and are now, I guess, being charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur from the murder of September 7th, 1996. I instantly found the numbers interesting, so let's go ahead and get into it. Today is 9/29/2023, September, the same month he was killed in all those years ago. Um, I instantly found it interesting because when you do what you got to do with the numbers today, that comes out to a 9. The number 9 is the ending of things, finalities, the ending of a cycle. We were born in the ninth month. Interesting. Makes sense. Um, But it leads me to wonder, is this, and I'm going to come back with a full in-depth video with cards. We're going to try to pull Tupac's energy. Um, but it leads me to believe that the legal system, the legal people, the police, whoever has been on this case for all these years, have known something for a long time. Maybe they knew about this. I believe his name is something Keefe. And from what I'm gathering, apparently the suspect and one of the suspects, this Mr. Keefe guy, was also on Vlad TV or something at some point where he actually told the story of being in the car right beside Tupac when he got shot, or actually being in the same car that the bullets came from. I just watched that, and all he would say, because he said the street code, is that the bullets came or the shots came from the back of the car. And when he was telling the story, he told us who was inside the car. And I believe one of those guys was his nephew, and the guy was Orlando. Now, I remember hearing this Orlando name years back, but that's another story. Now, I'm not a big fan of Tupac or Biggie, just because I've not listened to enough of their music. Well, yeah, I have, to really, I haven't did what most of the fans do. I haven't made that bond with his music and his art. And I'm not gonna lie. I know some of you guys are thinking like, what? Um, if I were to choose though, I probably more of a Biggie fan. Probably maybe because I'm from the East Coast. Well, I'm really not from the East Coast, but that's where I grew up, was the East Coast. But that's neither here nor there. I really want to talk about these numbers. I find it interesting that they're releasing this the same month that he died. They're releasing this on the numerology of 9. Um, Pretty much stating to us occultists and to the vibrations of the world that case closed, in a sense. When you look at the numbers, they're very interesting. There's some fours in there, because I believe the Tupac Shakur was born June 16th, 19 something. When I looked at those numbers, I was trying to find the correlation to this number 9. I do know that he was shot the 7th, and I do know that he died, I believe. Why we don't know shit really, because some people still think that he's alive. But we do know that he succumbed to his injuries on the 13th. 9 and 13, it comes out to a 4. Um, and I think when you do what you got to do with the numbers, it comes out to an 11. That's an interesting number as well. And then you could look at the 11 and connect it to the fact that his name was Tupac. And when it was written out, sometimes it was, Tupac, and then sometimes it was 2PAC. That 2 being a variation and a connection to the numerology of 11. Now, I did a previous video just a few minutes ago, but my storage on my phone was full, so it cut off. I feel like that video was a lot better, and I've forgotten some of the key points I wanted to come and talk about. That's why I said I'm going to come back, and I'm going to pull some cards. But I did want to talk about a story from last night that was so interesting, and I think it would only happen to an occultist, and I didn't know what it meant. But last night, I had a person over, and they came over for some grown-up things. And I put on a playlist. I think it was just a regular hip hop playlist. I just found the first one on YouTube and played it. And the funny thing was is that a Tupac song came on that I'd never heard, but I knew it was Tupac as this person was leaving. And not only that, the cops pulled up as soon as this song came on. Almost like Tupac was trying to let me know that And I hope you guys are following the cops, which are now releasing the information just at a press conference as we are speaking. And then the fact that his song, a random song, came on because I don't, like I said, I don't listen to Tupac really ever. And if I do, it's probably a playlist and one of his songs just popped up. Um, and maybe it means nothing, but the funny thing is that I come back from vacation. I'm gonna guess in August. And Whitney Houston is one of my favorite singers. And the funny thing is that I think it was real late at night in the late hours, like 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And I felt the need. I wanted to listen to some music, and I was like, I want to hear some Whitney. And I hadn't heard Whitney in maybe like a couple of months. And the funny thing was about it was is that the very next day I found out that it was Whitney Houston's birthday. Does that make sense to you guys? Um, I guess you more so need to be there to really feel what I'm getting from it. But it was just interesting. It was almost like Whitney Houston wanted to hear, and it's almost like she knows from the other side. I'm one of her biggest fans, and she wanted to. It was like I was guided to play her music for her birthday to celebrate her without knowing. I've always known her birthday was August 9th because my mom is the 7th. Um, but didn't remember that day. It was just a regular day. Didn't know the date. Forgotten about it. But that's neither here nor there. I really want to get into these numbers. Like I said, we've got 913, 1996. We've got 97, 1996. Now we've got 929, 2023. Um, it's interesting numbers. You can even look at it like with Tupac's death. September 7th, if you remove the actual date of today, or really you don't have to remove it. If you look at 929 and you keep the 9 from September, which is the ninth month, and you do 9 minus 2 from the 29, you get the 7. So there's a 9-7. Or you could look at how we usually write the date out, which we would say it's September of 2023. And don't really put the date on it to be very vague on certain documents, and you could get the 9-7 once again right there because we have the ninth month once again, and then we have 2023, which 223 comes out to what, 7. So there's a correlation. Um, we already see the elites got their hands in this. There's a reason why this information was released when it was released. I believe for a long time they've had a hunch or fully known who killed Tupac and where to find these certain things, certain information, or find certain clues, or find certain evidence. Now, like I said, it's either they didn't have the clearance or the warrants, or they had to work really hard to get the warrants to go into this guy's house, who they're claiming is a suspect, who I really believe now is charged. I haven't seen the full press conference. Or it's got something to do with the elites in Hollywood and the judicial system and how corrupt they are, and they needed to release these certain this information on a certain date to radiate at a certain vibration. And I'm going more towards that. Like I said, I just gave you the numbers, and like I said, you can do the 29th and take 9 minus 2 comes out to the 7. You have 9-7 right there, which is the same day he got shot. Almost 30 years ago. And not only that, I believe it's been 27 years since they have not known. Well, not really since they have not known, but it's been 27 years since he's been dead. And 2 and 7 once again is at 9, or you can do yeah, you can just leave it right there. And I know this is all over the place. This was not planned, but I really want to come in and talk about it because these numbers are looking real funny. Like I said, the fact that the information was released when it was released today, you got these 9s, you got these 7s, you got these, and not only that, we know we are, for those of you who don't know, but those of you who are really hit, we are in the year of the skull and crossbones, which I believe their number is 322, which is the 7. Um, and that may be a reason there, which really they're telling on themselves. They're still letting us know that they had something to do with Tupac's death. Now, for those of you who don't really think he's dead, we could still go on with that theory, or that conspiracy theory, as they would call it. But we're gonna move that to the side and just talk about, the fake death, so to speak, in the numbers, and because it's still a vibration that radiates, and there's a reason why they release this information today, you guys. Not only that, they just had somebody, I believe, not in Congress, but you guys probably know who I'm talking about. I didn't really look into her, don't know who she is, but they had somebody really big. She's something in politics, died today too, and I believe she died at 90. There's that 9 again, you guys. And go back and look at some other celebrity deaths or some elite deaths, and look at how many of them would die at the same time, or it'd be like boom, boom, boom. And there's always a connection, and there's always some lines you can draw to them. If you know what you're doing, you can figure out, okay, they need to do all of these stuff at a certain time to radiate a certain vibration. So I don't find it funny at all. Almost like when I believe it was when DMX died, and I think Prince Philip died, and I think the numerology was very much the same right there too. They did that allegedly to like I said, radiate that certain vibration to pull certain energies, to push certain energies out. Because as powerful as Tupac was, there's no way in hell that Tupac has been sitting on the other side. Which that not you know what, I can believe he was still alive too. In fact, because there's no way, as strong as this guy was a powerful guy when it came to his energy. There's no way that in his death that he was not coming from the other side and throwing certain clues or trying to guide certain people to the killers of his death. He just gives me that energy that he would be that type of person who was strong enough that he would be able to literally stand in front of you vividly in 3D form from the other side and show you directly who killed him. So that could maybe put me on the bandwagon and maybe he's not really dead, because there's just no way this has went on for this long and they didn't know who killed him. You guys, there's just no way. And I believe there's a cover up, you guys. Well, we know it's a cover up, and I believe that really they let that guy, this Keefy guy who was on video. I don't remember if it was Black TV or where the interview was from, but really they sat there and let the killer, somebody who was a part of Tupac's death, pretty much just tell us that what happened and how it happened, and they just let him walk free for all these years. Which is crazy, like I said, which leads me to believe that they've known this information for a long time, and they needed to release it on a certain date, um, on a certain frequency. It's almost like if you go in some of my previous videos, when I call it the mirror ritual, where you die on the same energy you came into, and it's pretty much the same thing here. They're releasing energy on the same energies and the same energy frequency of the night that he was shot, and then when he initially succumbed to his energies and died. Okay, so I know this seems like a lot of rambling and all that, but I wanted to bring you guys the breaking news. I'm sure none of you have missed it. I know all of you guys are probably listening to all the press conferences. Some of y'all probably never listened to a police press conference in your life, but I don't listen to this one because we've been waiting on this one for a long time. And I'm very curious and cannot wait to see what they're going to present to us and what they're going to tell us about this case and how everything went down. And I wonder if there's going to be any other arrests. Somebody's going to whistleblow and say, hey, this was a hit, or I don't know, that when you look at the reenactment of it, it looks like it really was a random hit. And I was going to say this, I want to know who those fans were that called Tupac when he was in his car, because when they're telling the story, they say, the car that shot him, I guess they left the 266 Club or 662 Club, and they showed the map, but they were, I believe, going, Tupac and them were going this way, and then the car with the people who killed him were going this way. And as the story goes, I guess some fans spotted Tupac in the car and they screamed. They were like, Tupac, Tupac, and then Tupac came out the sunroof and was, yelling and goofing off with the fans and whatever. And as the guy Keefe said, he said he would have never known that Tupac was in that car had them fans not called him, and that pissed me off because I was like, in a sense, y'all got that man killed, because like they said, he had been made, he had been revealed. Not that Tupac was hiding, but it pretty much let them niggas know where Tupac was at, which was inside that car, which and these roads were empty, which gave them an opportunity to shoot and kill him. Now it's still not making sense to me why they killed him, unless, like I said, it was an elite hit. But from the story and the reenactment, it seems like it was a crime of opportunity. And like I said, it still makes me very sad that, like, them fans called him, and I'm like, damn, Tupac, I wish you had not got out the car and you would have sat your ass down. And Tupac may have been still sitting here. Also, another thing that was interesting is when this Keefy guy, was telling the story, he said, he noticed Suge Knight, his friend, was in the car, and I guess they pulled up and were talking across the two cars where they were beside each other at the light. And it's like, wait, well, if that was your friend, then why would somebody pull out a gun and shoot? Just, it's not making sense. But like I said, this is a lot of rambling, and thanks for bearing with me, you guys. But rest in peace to rest in peace to Tupac Shakur, if he is really crossed over, and really still rest in peace to him anyway, because he most likely will never be able to return here, and he probably doesn't want to, and I don't blame him. So I'll be back with a full in-depth video. I might have to pull out all the stops and not do the videos the getaway like I do it, and pull out the altar, get me a nice reading table and all that for you guys, because this deserves the best to bring you some information. But I'm very curious to see if anybody will also be indicted. P. Diddy, Suge Knight, Suge Knight's already in jail, and what else is going to come out. Don't get hyped though yet, because there is some corruption, which we know there is with Tupac's death. I still doubt that those higher ups that are in the music industry will be called out, but you never know. So, King of the Root, aka the Cursed Prophet 666, back with another video, and